Hello, welcome back to the channel. So, with Rondo opting out of his contract with the Lakers and becoming a free agent, there has been big Chris Paul rumors trade rumors to the Lakers once again. So in this video we're going to see who should the Lakers sign as their point guard this year, because they can only have Rondo or Paul, because even if they went for both, they hate each other, it wouldn't work. So it's going to be either Rondo or CP3. So we're going to see who the Lakers should sign. Now during the regular season, Chris Paul, he played 31 minutes, averaging 17 points, 6 assists and 5 rebounds, shooting 36% from 3 and 48% from the field, and he's a 35-year-old point guard, plenty of experience. Still hasn't won a ring, so he's a little ring chasing at this stage. And yeah, but Rondo, in the regular season he was pretty average, pretty poor. He was only averaging 7 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds, only playing 20 minutes, shooting 22% from 3 and 41% from the field. So looking at that, Chris Paul had a way better and way bigger impact during the regular season. But in the playoffs, Chris Paul he averaged 37 minutes, averaging 21 points, 5 assists, 7 rebounds, shooting 37% from the 3 and 49% from the field. And he got the OKC to the first round of the Western Conference, losing to the Houston Rockets in Game 7. With Rondo, his stats aren't the greatest, but he had a massive impact with the Lakers. He was their third star behind LeBron and AD, on and off the court. Massive player. He only averaged 8 points, 4 rebounds and 6 assists in 24 minutes, but shooting 40% from 3, which is an 8% improvement from the regular season, and a 45% from the field. And as I said, he won it with the Lakers this year, and especially a massive Game 6 against the Heat, closing out the series, scoring 19 points, getting 4 assists and 4 rebounds. And as you see there, Rondo, he was, for most of his career, he's a very poor 3-point shooter, but he stepped it up this year, shooting 4% from 3, so he's improving that. So as I was saying about Rondo, he was the third star of the Lakers in their playoff run this year, behind LeBron and AD. And even when as I said, even when he wasn't scoring, he was contributing a lot on the court with his leadership, ball handling and all that. He carried the second unit, so he allowed LeBron to get a rest, and he carried him in the second unit boys. He was the second ball handler for LeBron to take the pressure off LeBron, allows him to rest with his head. They showed playoff Rondo is still here, has great chemistry with AD as well, showing those lobs for AD. And this year he was only paid the vet minimum contract, so you can't really blame him dropping out. He deserved to get paid for that performance. He showed he still has plenty left in the tank, and he was actually paid $9 million in 2018-19 season, so you can't really blame him for wanting to get paid. And yes, he would still be much cheaper than Chris Paul. We'll get on to Chris Paul's contract later, but Rondo, even no matter how much he has, he won't ask for as much as Chris Paul is getting, and he won't get what Chris Paul is going to get. Yes, we wouldn't have to give up. If I'd say the Lakers should go for Rondo, because we wouldn't have to give up any assets, to get him, just sign him again. Chris Paul would have to give up a load of future picks, maybe Kyle Kuzma, Caruso, a few of those boys, to get out of OKC. And I don't know, would Chris Paul take being on the second unit with the boys? I think Chris Paul would want to be a starter, which means we probably need to get another point guard as well. So I'd say just stick with Rondo anyway. But anyway, let's go on Chris Paul then. So Chris Paul this year with the OKC, he rebuilt his stuff, after Houston, things didn't end too well there in the second season. So people thought that, he'd get bought out by OKC and just end up as a free agent and sign with the Lakers, but no, he stayed with OKC, got into the playoffs when no one expected him to, and got to a Game 7 against Houston. Very lucky to lose that. So yeah, Chris Paul did very well this year with the OKC, and he was an All-Star again this season. So he's come a long way from that last year with Houston, and he would also be the third star with LeBron and AD if he did sign with us. He has a great relationship with LeBron, so you already know that LeBron will be trying to get Rob Pelinka to get him on the team. They got that bromance. But yeah, he does one of the worst contracts in the NBA. He'll be getting paid $44 million this year, and he'll be turning 36 years old. You just don't need that. Rondo, I think Rondo could do a better job than Chris Paul, and could be way cheaper. The Lakers have to give, as I said, Lakers have to give a lot of assets to get Chris Paul, and the massive salary to create that cap space. So it won't be easy. But he can hit the 3, and that's what the Lakers need. They also need a floor general and another ball handler, and if Chris Paul did come, he would bring all that. So overall, as I said, I'd pick Rondo over CP3. I think he's just a better fit for the Lakers anyway. You know, he accepts his role on the team. He's okay not being a starter. Carries second unit, takes the pressure off LeBron, allows him to rest. And as for like Chris Paul, and I say Chris Paul has that massive contract. Rondo, way cheaper. Wouldn't have any assets to get him. You know, keeping our assets. You know, people like Kyle Kuzma, we can use him to trade for someone else. There's even Derrick Rose rumors now. Derrick Rose and Rondo, I think we could fit both of them into the team, into the squad. But I don't know. I think probably we one or the other again. At least Rondo and Derrick Rose don't hate each other, as far as I know. And yeah, so, and I said, if you don't pick Rondo, if we get to go for CP3 and let Rondo go, the Clippers need a point guard. And I can see Rondo's exactly what they need. The Clippers need a leader, a ball handler. He's hitting the tree now, Rondo. So, no way I'd let him push the Clippers. He improved them a hell of a lot. And I'd make sure, you know, just to sign him up. You know, CP3 on the other hand, if he did not go to the Lakers, he'd probably end up in the Bucks or with the Knicks, probably in New York. In the middle, might re-team up. Might just team up in New York, the Big Apple. So yeah, that's it. That's the video. Chris Paul to the Lakers trade rumors. I'd say it's a buttload of bollocks. Team Rondo. I am. As a Laker, I watched the playoffs this year. I'm all for Rondo. Even if there's another shite regular season, I don't care. Playoff Rondo is real. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. With that said, I'm out of here.